from, and what I've always admired about you, you go from something like Pinkfish, a comedy song, to writing, that's a kind of what, mid-'80s sort of ballad. I mean, you
yeah,
could
it's a power. I mean, I'm kind of a chameleon. Basically, I'm a chameleon, which is probably why it's good that I become a recording artist. I love losing myself in a musical style, and just coming through that style, through the characters, through the story, and
yet you have a distinctive sound. You really do. I mean, when I was sitting in Sister Act, I went, that's so Alan Menken.
Yeah, we'll get to that Alan Menken sound. We get the Disney things, but I do want to talk to you about Howard Ashman and when Howard came into your life. When did you first meet Howard?
I know Howard had done a little show. He just wrote the book for it, I think, called Dream Stuff, down at the Astor Place Theater, and I'd heard about it at the time. And he was, I think, coming aboard just to write the book and direct a musical of Kurt Vonnegut's novel, God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater. And somehow, actually through Maury and through Lehman, Howard was looking to meet with various composers. And so I was one of the composers he wanted to meet with. And I think Maury called me and said, I know you write lyrics like I do, but this guy Howard Ashman. And he's the artistic director of the WPA Theater, right. And he is, he's doing Kurt Vonnegut's God Bless Mr. Rosewater, and I was a big Vonnegut fan. So we met, and I played him some things, and in short order we were collaborating. And
what was it about Howard that impressed you so much? I mean, I know guys like Peter Schneider and Tom Schumacher, who ran Disney, said that Howard was really a dramatist. That he could see the whole thing. That wasn't just a song, but he could see the whole movie unfold, the whole plot, the characterization. Yeah,
Howard understood how music informs story. Howard really had a great sense of genre, of zeitgeist, and certainly the best example of that was Little Shop of Horrors,
which was the show that launched you both, really.
And we had initially, when we took on writing Little Shop, we were writing it actually in a way that was closer to the movie itself. In that bad Corman movie.
Yeah. By the way, why did you hit on that idea? Why would you look at that bad old movie and think there's a musical there?
Howard. He'd wanted to do this ever since college.
That was his kind of twist of
and
mind.
I looked at it. I said, it's very obvious. It is very obvious. It's got such a huge sense of genre to it, even before we decided to do it, using the dark side of Greece, as we call it.
Right. That was the theme. That was the idea behind it.
Kind of, but not initially. Initially, we had songs like, "When it's time to pick a pet flower, who's the shrub we love? Who's our potted plant of the hour? Who's our bush when push comes to shove? Who rakes in that cash? Those kudos. Look, Ma, who came through? Not Audrey Hepburn or Audrey Wood. Both those ladies are well and good. They're dismal failures beside the wonderful Audrey too." And the pods would go, "Audrey, Audrey, Audrey too."
Well, that didn't make the final cut.
Well, no, but we had the whole score. Feed me, I'm hungry. Feed me, I'm starving. Feed me, I'm fading in fast. Feed me, you nutnik. It was just very much in the style of the Corman movie. And then, we played it for people, and they looked at us like we had 10 heads. And Howard then said, "You know what? I have another idea."
So go get it.
Little shop of horrors, little shop of terror, call a cop. Little shop of horrors, and no, oh no, oh no, oh no. We had other songs in that style that went further.
Feed me.
Oh, feed me, Seymour. Feed me all night long. That's right, boy. You can do it. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me all night long. If you feed me, Seymour, I can grow up big and strong.
Once you found that tone, then the show changed, and then you were able to get it up and get the money going for it.
Well, we opened it at the WPA Theater. It was Howard's theater.
Right.
We did it twice, and in both cases, we had a great result. One was Rosewater. It moved instantly to the Intermedia Theater on 2nd Avenue, and then Little Shop, which just boom.
Exploded. Oh, we've got to wrap up the segment, but we will ask you, will you stick around for next week? Because we haven't even begun to get to the Disney-fication of Alan Menken.
Disney-fication.
But
Okay,
can
sure.
we go out? We have some
about
of our...
Somewhere That's
I was going to,
Green?
yes.
I know Seymour's the greatest, but I'm dating a semi-sadist. So I got a black eye and my arms in a cast. Still, that Seymour's a cutie. Well, if not, he's got inner beauty. And I dream of a place where we could be together at last. A matchbox of our own, a fence of real chain link, a grill out on the patio, dispose all in the sink, a washer and a dryer and an ironing machine, in a tract house that we share, somewhere that's green. Lift up your head, wash off your mascara. Here, take my Kleenex, wipe that lipstick away. Show me your face, clean as the morning. I know things were bad, but now they're okay. Suddenly Seymour is standing beside you. You don't need no makeup, don't have to pretend. Suddenly Seymour is here to provide you sweet understanding. Seymour's your friend.
You know that song, Susan, of course. That is Suddenly Seymour from the great musical Little Shop of Horrors, performed by the man who wrote it, Alan Menken, who was our guest on Theater Talk tonight. I'm Michael Riedel from the New York Post.
And I'm the show's producer, Susan Haskins.
And Alan was with us last week, and he agreed to stick around because we only scratched the surface of your extraordinary career. Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Little Shop of Horrors, and on Broadway right now, the terrific Sister Act. Welcome back to Theater Talk, Alan. When we broke off the last time, we were just getting into Little Shop of Horrors, the show that really launched you and Howard Ashman, that great song, Suddenly Seymour. How did you and Howard work? I mean, lyrics first, music first? Was it all sort of mixed up?
First. It was the classic way of, you know, what is the song moment and what we want it to be. Howard loved to, you know, to take out the records and say, let's listen to this Shirelle song. Let's do something like that. That'd be great. Or let's listen to this Howlin' Wolf song. And so we had a lot of fun with that. You know, Howard knew exactly what he wanted. He was a great collaborator.
Did he push you in ways that
absolutely
no one else has? I mean, to make the songs better, to make...
Howard was just so impatient. You know, I mean, he basically loved to control everything. The music was the only thing he couldn't control. So, if he could have stuck his hand, you know, and that would be like a puppet, would have been fine. But we loved each other and had a great collaboration. And he was, and the best times we had were in the room, collaborating. You know, when he got in the theater, then he put on his director's hat.
Because I heard he could be pretty tough too.
Yeah.
Was he tough on you? As
Sure.
He could be, really.
Yeah.
Example of that, you know, how he could drive you
Well,
insane.
when we got to the time when we were working with MIDI and synths, I'd start playing something. I'd use some some sound, and he'd say, "It sounds like roller skating music." I don't know, you know. He was, he just wanted what he wanted, and no, that's not right. That's not right. And he would he was one of those people who would if you sat at a meeting, he would be taking the paper and chewing the paper and
really nervous and kind of edgy guy.
Incredibly, yeah. It's just very intensely focused.
Was it your line? Somebody told me that Howard he could be a self-flagellator, and the problem with self-flagellators is sometimes they flagellate you in the process. Wasn't that your line?
It's Howard, but it's also Glenn. Sometimes Stephen Schwartz. There's a personality that that's they're very smart, very self-critical, and consequently very critical. And I mean, I guess there are times where I'll have that quality too, and it's, you know, I know when I do it, it's obnoxious, but at the same time, sometimes it's
It's part of the collaborative process.
It's part of the way it works. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the best people are very intense.
Now, you have a song, an outtake from Little Shop of Horrors. Can you just sort of tell us why you wrote the song, and then why you decide it can't be used?
It was a ballad in Act 2 called We'll Have Tomorrow, and it was when Audrey has come to Seymour, and she's so worried, and he says, Audrey, just go home. Everything will be all right. It'll be fine. And we also had Suddenly Seymour in Act 2, and Howard said, we can't have 2 ballads in Act 2. Got to cut it.
Just basic musical theater writing.
Said, really? What? Well, it's no rule, but just, I guess, in his gut, he felt that. You know, the best musical theater talent knows that cutting is like your best friend, and rewriting is your best friend. Just don't get attached to anything. But this was a song called We'll Have Tomorrow.
Don't you be frightened. Don't be afraid. I'll get us out of this mess that I've made. Don't ask questions tonight. It's touch and go. No one ever got hurt by what they don't know. We'll have tomorrow. Trust me, it's true. We'll have tomorrow. We'll get through. Clouds will be parted. Sun will shine bright. We'll have tomorrow if we just get through tonight.
Wow.
And you had to lose that.
You know, in the end, I think probably the most thrilling experience of my entire career was I was playing the show, and so it's such a hands-on process, and feeling that the audience behind us responding to the show, you know, it was that breakthrough moment.
I heard in that ballad, though, the Alan Menken sound, if you will.